everyone, pleasure to be with you once again, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Mito Jesuit AOR. And in this episode, the Jesuits of Eastern African Province would love to present to you the formation in Jesuit religious life and apostolic competence. Join us in this episode. Welcome.
Dear viewer of Mito Jesuits, the Eastern Africa Jesuit Province Vocations Office, I am joined here by Dominic, but I'll give him the honor of introducing himself. Would you tell us who you are, and we pick up from there?
Okay, my name is Dominic Mutunga. I'm a Jesuit, currently doing my Regency. My main apostolate is communications and administration in the proposed Loyola University project of the Eastern Africa province. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Dominic, thank you. Could you briefly tell us your vocation journey to the Society of Jesus?
Okay, thank you. A good question. I'll say it has been a long journey, but majorly I'll say that after my university education, that is when the fire really became more and more conspicuous. Although before that, I had been pursuing that inner desire to pursue priesthood, especially at the high school at Starehe, where it was nurtured more by the sisters, Father George Aikara, who was also a Jesuit. In fact, he's the one who introduced me to the Jesuits. But that time, I would say the desire was not very clear. I was still, 50-50, comme ci, comme ça, to marry or to be a priest. But after my high school, I joined KU. In KU, the fire died a bit, At the university, the environment is all mixed up. So the fire died a bit. I lost a bit of contact with the Jesuits. After that, when I was working at the Samburu, I was working in the Ministry of Public Health as a community health service focal person. I would say that is when really my vocation was confirmed, because looking at the needs of the people I was serving and that desire to see them improve their lifestyles, live healthy lifestyles, that is when I really could feel every day that my desire was shifting towards priesthood more than the family life. And that is, I will say, my vocation matured when I was still in Samburu. And that's when I finalized my application and was admitted to the society in 2015, April. Yes.
Dominic, what is the difference between being in the society from 2015, all the formation stages that they have gone through up to Regency, and you and the person who is out there, perhaps still working or still studying at Kenyatta University? What is the difference between the two lifestyles?
Yeah, in fact, that's a very good question, because I would say the main difference lies in my interior disposition. Because when I was out there working, yes, I was enjoying my work. I loved to serve the people, but my inner disposition was not that mature enough, or I would say satisfied. That inner feeling of I am satisfied with my life, with what I am doing. So since I joined the society from the year 2015 up to now, I would say the formation I received in the novitiate instilled in me a kind of spirit which really continues to cause an inner satisfaction which I couldn't get out there. And so from novitiate to the philosophy in India and to Regency in the last 2 years, I would say I continue to grow in that inner satisfaction that I am in the right place, moving in the right direction. So that is one of the main differences between being in the society to this end and being out there. But also, there's that inner satisfaction translates to external outcomes or evidence, because the kind of pursuits I would make before I joined the society, it really doesn't make sense to me. Like pursuing money and all this in such a way that money would come first before service or something like that. No, today I would really be so satisfied, especially if I'm showing more love and compassion to people than the material benefit that comes with it. Thank you.
My dear viewer, I'm sure you'll agree with me that we don't know the meaning of Regency. But my simple English will say that a person who is on Regency is called a regent. That's how far I can go. Could you share more on Regency and who is a regent?
Yes. Thank you. And you rightly put it, because I will say Regency is a stage of Jesuit formation that comes in between philosophy and theology, to the very basic process of formation. And I will say, to this end, I have already covered 2 years of Regency, and I really appreciate it having come after my philosophy. Why? Because this is a stage of formation which gives me a chance to internalize the formation I've received from novitiate and philosophy, and also the chance to really be myself in terms of working, in terms of interacting with the fellow Jesuits, that I have come to really experience maximum profit during this stage of Regency. I would say one of the main advantages and essences of this stage of Regency is personal discovery. I can say I've really discovered myself more during this stage of Regency in a way that is unique than philosophy and novitiate, because here I am free, I'm working, and at the same time it gives me a chance to really go inwards and even outwards. And one of the questions I keep asking myself during Regency is, why am I here? Am I in the right place? That question pops up almost every week for me. And as I continue working, as I continue practicing the values which the Spirit of St. Ignatius has given to us, the value of love and service, the value of compassion, the value of mercy, the value of forbearance, even with my fellow companions, with the collaborators we work with, and with the society that we serve, then that really for me is a central essence of Regency. And also the discovery of the different personalities we have among my fellow companions who are Jesuits. That has been an important aspect of Regency for me, because I've come to know different personalities of Jesuits, and even discovered ways of dealing and interacting with such personalities, because that is how we really come to talk of union of heart and mind. If I can bear with your personality as one Jesuit, another different personality of another Jesuit, then that has been a very important aspect for me. And even my superiors under whom I've been working have also been like elder brothers to me. The aspect of formation I've received from them, guidance, and even instilling in me interpersonal skills, communication skills, and all these aspects has also been an important aspect of Regency. So I would say Regency is really essential for the inner formation, maturity, and also the external discoveries and exploration of life, because you are here working here and there. So it's a matter of also enjoying life and being free with myself and with others. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic. Would you mind to share one inspiring story or that touching story that you've experienced during your Regency? But just before that, could you mention to us where you did your novitiate and philosophy?
Okay, yes, I did my novitiate at Arusha, Gonzaga novitiate. That's what we call it. That was from May 24th, 2015 to May 16, 2017. That was my period for Regency, or for novitiate, sorry. Then from there, I did my philosophy at Sacred Heart College in Chennai. That is a Satya. That is a department of philosophy of the Loyola College, which is owned by Jesuits. So that was the period of novitiate and philosophy, respectively. Yeah, so I will say one of the most inspiring instances I've encountered during this my Regency is during one of our meetings. For the university project, one lady who is a collaborator shared a story of some years ago when when the war broke in South Sudan. Then we had these citizens, the South Sudanese, moving to Kenya. And so they came all the way to Nairobi. And this lady was staying at Kikuyu, and she still stays there with her family. So there was this one couple, a man and his wife. The wife was pregnant, but as they were walking, the wife was knocked by a car, and her legs were broken, and both limbs were broken. So these guys are from South Sudan. They don't know English. They cannot speak Swahili. And so the husband is trying to ask for help to rush his wife to hospital, but nobody was listening to him. So this guy just walks towards the houses in Kikuyu, and the lady sees him through an opening of the house. He knocks the door, then she opens. He cannot speak English, but he was just pointing. So the lady is the only one who listened to him. And so she accompanied him. She had a car. She took the wife and this guy to hospital. That was the last time she met them. After that, she left. So years later, in 2007, you all know, if you are Kenyan, you know what happened. We had the post-election violence. And so this lady is still in her house in Kikuyu, and then she hears a knock on the door. And when she opens, she sees that guy whom she had helped years ago, who has come. And so she realizes that these guys have come all the way from Kakuma, the refugee camp. And why did they come all the way to Nairobi? They came to check whether this lady was safe from this violence which was going on after the elections. And the lady was really touched. And these guys are refugees at Kakuma camp. And this guy, what he could offer was this bango. You know, these guys, they wear lots of bangles. So he just removed one bangle and offered to this lady. For me, that story is a summary of the kind of relationships we are really called to have. One is the listening ear that this lady gave to this couple, the compassion and the neighborly love she showed to them. And later on, you see the reciprocation which this refugee, with nothing, owning nothing, he comes back, and what he can offer is what? A bango. So for me, that is the center of my vocation, is the center of being human, and the center of our life. Thank you.
Quite inspiring. But Dominic, you said you went to Chennai and you also went to Arusha, Tanzania. Chennai iko Tanzania, sio?
Chennai is in India.
Oh, India.
Yes, southern India, yes.
So umeenda Tanzania, umeenda India. I am a young man who would like to go to those places, but while in the sight of Jesus. Could you encourage me and my fellow viewer who would also like to go through those paths in the sight of Jesus?
Yes, thank you. That's a good question and very important, because for me, going to Arusha, that was my first time. Going to India, Chennai, that was my first time again. And really, what I would say first, what really matters first is you have been called. And when you are being called for that first time, it was your God and you. You had not known the society of Jesus. So God first called you, and then as a result of that calling, God moves you to discover the different congregations, and you landed in the Jesuits, and here you are as a Jesuit. So one thing I would say which can really move us and which really matters for me is personal disposition, being open to wherever you are sent, because all these are places which are necessary for formation, whether intellectual or whether physical, emotional. So Arusha and Chennai, of course, Chennai is termed and regarded by many as a hard place, a difficult place. But for me, I said, I joined the society. It is God who called me, and I desire to grow in that, in my vocation. So I'm always telling myself I'm open to wherever I am sent. Yes, because they're human beings. In India, they're human beings in the novitiate, in Arusha. So I would really just tell anyone, any Jesuit, being open for the mission means that you surrender to wherever the call directs you. If the provincial says you go to Chennai, then you don't even struggle. Even if somebody discourages you and says, that is a hard place, it's a difficult place, you are being punished. No, you are disposed and you are ready to go, because one, you have said yes to the one who has called us, that is God, not to any human being. The human being comes in the position of Christ on that chair of leadership and others. So I would say just being open, that inner disposition really matters and will take us wherever we are sent. Thank you
for that. What about a young man who would like to join the sight of Jesus? Is he safe to come and knock at our doors?
Yes, the young man is very safe. Why? One, the one who calls is God. It is not the society of Jesus. That call first comes from God, because he even says, you did not call me, but I called you and sent you to bear fruit. So what should really convince that young man is that it is God who has planted that seed for priesthood or for religious life. And once God has planted that seed, the society of Jesus becomes the vessel by which this seed will be nurtured, and this seed will bear fruit through the efforts of that young man. So I would say the society of Jesus, the charism, the spirituality, gives us an opportunity to really let out that love and compassion that God has given us, and to transform the world through that love and compassion, the faith that we have received, and above all, through the Holy Spirit who is within us, and the charism of the society, which covers and cuts across education, social justice. All these things will be manifested in the spirit by which we offer ourselves. So that young man is very safe to be in the society of Jesus, as long as also through his reflection and prayer, he feels that what the society of Jesus is contributing to the world is really what moves him, his interior, because we have different interests and passions as human beings also. Some of the activities by which the society reaches out with love and compassion to the world are different from Dominicans, or even another congregation like the Franciscans. So again, that's another area. If what the Society of Jesus does catches my interest and passion and desire, then the Society of Jesus is a place to be. Thank you.
The Society of Jesus is a place to be. Come and see. Those are not my words, but the words of Dominic Mutunga and Jesus.
Thank you for watching Miito Jesuit AOR. Don't forget to subscribe.
When